Alright, so today I didn't take any trades today. You know, once it hits my level, that's when I'm able to take a trade. If it doesn't hit my level, then I can't take a trade. Listen, I'm editing this right now. You guys definitely need to stick towards the end of the video because, you know, this is probably one of the longest videos that I did in a minute, and it's all literally just about the mindset and how you could actually become a profitable trader. And I wish I literally had this video when I first started trading. So definitely make sure you guys stay to the end. Let's get right back into the video. Today I was looking at that 250 on Tesla. I was looking at that 240 on Tesla. On SPY, I was looking at that 425. You guys can see that it bounced twice already. It looks super nice. I'm waiting for that as well. And then NVIDIA, I'm also waiting for this 428 or possibly 417 depending on how it looks. But as you guys can see, none of my levels hit today. So now I'm just waiting for it to hit, right? I don't react if it doesn't hit my levels. I only react when it hits my levels, and I react by not reacting if it doesn't hit my levels. And this is how I'm super consistent and profitable. That doesn't mean that I'm not going to take a loss on my levels from time to time, but there's less of a chance and less of a probability, and there's also a better risk to reward at my levels. Because I'll know if I'm wrong right away, and I'll be able to cut it for a 5 to 8% loss. And usually I get anywhere from like 15 to 30% gains on the actual trade itself. And this is how I'm able to stay profitable. I'm allowing my winners to compound. I took a win on Monday. I took a win on Tuesday. If I took a loss today, that starts eating up in the profits. Now, if I wait and don't take any trades and be break even on the day, then tomorrow I take a win. Those will keep compounding my winners. If I took a loss today and I made money the next day, which is tomorrow, that will start to make up for the loss that I took today. But at the same time, instead of taking a loss, I could have been break even today. And then I let my winners from tomorrow compound from Monday and Tuesday. And you got to break it down mathematically. Let's say you made $50 on Monday, $50 on Tuesday, and then you're break even today, right? And then tomorrow, since you waited, you made $50 tomorrow. So you're up $150. Now, if you made money on Monday and Tuesday, $50, $50, and today you took a loss, let's say negative $50, you're up $50, right, for the week, and then tomorrow now you're up 100 instead of being up $150, and that's a 50% difference. You have to mathematically break it down. There's a reason why I'm not trading when my levels don't hit, and there's a reason why I'm only waiting for the best setups. If you mathematically break it down, how you become the most profitable, this is the way to do it. This is how I become the most profitable, and I allow my winners to compound. Like, you literally have to take your average P&L for the week. Let's say you make $100 on the week, on average. You know, even though you make $100 per day, right? Let's say you made $100 on Monday, $100 on Tuesday. Usually by the end of the week, you start folding it, you start fumbling it a little bit. You lose $150, you lose $100. At the end of the week, your average P&L is around, like, let's say $150. So why would you not sit on your hands if Monday and Tuesday gave you that already, right? You're already above your average P&L for the week. On a day like today, why are you trying to force something? Why are you trying to like force a trade and not stay disciplined and stay patient? You should want to stay disciplined and patient because you don't want to ruin what you started. You already made above your average P&L for the week, but you want to keep going. You want more, you want more. And this is where greed starts to come in, and this is going to do the total opposite. And then soon enough, you'll be break even on the week instead of being up or maybe even down. This is why I wait for the best, so it could add to my P&L instead of taking it away. Because if I don't wait for the best setups, then it's going to take away from my P&L. And like, the moral of this video is not about the trading, right? A lot of people look at the trading. Oh, aren't you mad that you didn't hold it all the way down to here? Aren't you mad that it just kept going? That's not how you trade, right? A lot of people are trading off of the money. The way you're supposed to trade is off the charts, right? And it, you know, I feel like everyone and their mom says that, but look at it differently though, right? If I took a trade, let's say, actually let's use an example from yesterday. On the Qs, you guys can see that 355. We took it under 355 and sold the exact low right there, all right? That was not broken until about 130. So we sold the low. Number one, we're scalpers, so our contracts would got 8 and up if we held through that. Number two, why would you hold through all that, right? So we literally sold best possible price that we could have sold it at. But here's the thing. Most people will never look back on that. They will never look back where you sold at the actual good spot, right? I sold at literally like a perfect spot right here. Literally a perfect spot. But a lot of people, they will never go back on the trades and be like, oh, wow, I sold at a perfect spot right there. Because they keep focusing on the wrong stuff. they'll take Tesla, for instance, and let's say they got into calls right here and then they sold it right here at that 246. They'll look back and they'll be like, wow, you know, I missed this whole move up to 250. But if it came down, they'll switch their bias and be like, oh, wow, you know, I sold at the best possible price. Or they won't even look at that. They won't even care, right? They only look at the trades that kept going, even though it wouldn't even make sense to hold it through that. And that's what's wrong with the psychology of most traders, honestly. You know, a lot of people are just trading totally wrong, and like their mentality is just so bad, and this is why you're not profitable. I can see why 90% of people fail at trading. And it's not because of the trading itself, it's because of your mentality. And I could see how that number could totally flip to be like at least 40% of people become profitable. You know, the statistic is like what? 85% of people are not profitable, 90% of people are not profitable. And it's literally because they're focusing on the wrong stuff. It's all about the risk to reward. You have to mathematically break it down. Like you literally, if it mathematically makes sense, then it will work out. And this is why I'm able to stay unemotional when I trade, because it's all about that mentality. If I mathematically break it down, I have to stick to this plan to be profitable. If I don't stick to this plan, then I know mathematically it's not going to work out and it makes no sense and I won't be profitable. So if you know it's not going to be profitable, you don't stick to the plan, this allows me to stick to the plan even more. And as I see it's working, let's say I'm using TradeZella and I see that I'm journaling it and I'm actually becoming profitable, then you know that sticking to your plan is going to be 100%. But at first, if you're not sticking to your plan, then you're not going to know if your plan works in the first place. You're wasting your time. Like most people are just wasting their time trading because, you know, you're like, oh, I'm finally getting it, you know, $20 days. Next thing you know, they're down $200 on the next day. You're wasting your time. You're not doing something right, and you keep trading when you're not doing it right. You got to figure it out. What are you doing wrong? And like, honestly, like my approach if I first started would be exactly this. I will have a, let's say a $2,000 account or a $1,000 account. The point of this is to have only 2 trades per day. Now, you know, a lot of people are like, oh, you know, I might start over trading. You physically cannot overtrade with this way that I'm about to tell you. If you have a $1,000 account, you break it up, $500 per trade. You can only legally take 2 trades on that day with a cash account, because then it becomes unsettled funds and you can't trade unsettled funds on a cash account. So you cannot trade more than twice. If you have a $500 position, $500 position. And I don't care about that 2% rule. Who cares about that? It hasn't worked for you yet, right? You're not profitable yet, or you're barely profitable. Stop with that 2%. Listen, this is how I would do it. 2% doesn't matter until you start getting to the big leagues. Right now, you need to focus on actually breaking some of your bad habits. And the way to break your bad habits, for me, for instance, if I first started, I would have a $1,000 account, $500 position sizes, right? Or if I can't handle the $500 position size, then I'll just scale it down. But my account size needs to be to where I can only take 2 trades on a day. Whether it's a $100 position size, then I'll have a $200 account. So that gets rid of the first problem. The second problem is my stop loss and my risk. Now, a lot of people, the reason why they lose so much on a day is them over trading, right? There's one option, because they keep taking the losses, or they hold their losses too long. Now, this is not sponsored, even though if DAS wants to sponsor me, you know, they definitely know where to reach me at. But DAS has a feature to where it would auto sell at negative whatever percent. So let's say you have such a hard time selling, because I did. When I first started, my stop loss would not be existent. I would literally not know how to lose, and I would lose the whole entire position. Now, you know, in this new technology, this new era, there's something called auto risk management. You know, TOS will never implement that because they want you to keep applying more and more funds to their account. Interactive brokers, same thing. But this is automatic. You know, some of them have where you could put the stop loss on there. You know, most of these brokerages out there, you could limit and put your stop loss there already. But here's the thing, with DAS, you don't have to do any of that. It's like it's not there, but you'll know it's there when it hits. And it's like perfect. You don't have to cancel anything or anything like that. I could put a negative 10% stop loss, and every single trade I get into, whether I remember or not, since it's automatically there, it would put a negative 10% stop loss. So it would literally sell. If I am holding it and it goes to negative 10%, it would automatically sell without me having to do anything, without me having to cancel, without it having to be in the way. Most brokerages, you have to put a limit out and then you're going to have to cancel that and then sell in order for you to sell. With DAS, it's like a barrier that you don't even know exists until it hits. And you can do it by money amount as well. Let's say I use a negative 10% stop loss, or I could use a money amount for a stop loss. So let's say I'm going to lose at most $50 on that trade, because contracts could vary. I might not be able to get the full $500 on that position size, because let's say the contracts equal out to 450 or 400. I'm still going to set that $50 stop loss or that 10% stop loss, and you can do both. So whatever hits first. But let's say they're even, on a day like today, they're $100 a piece. Let's say you get 5 contracts. At most you could lose on that trade is $50. And if you take a next trade, at most you're going to lose is $100 on the day. Now, your winners, if you apply that 1-to-1 risk to reward, at least you should be able to make $50 per trade. See where I'm going with this? That risk to reward kind of makes more sense than you making $20 in a day and then you losing $200. There is no reason why someone that has a $500 account is losing $200 in a day, right? It just doesn't make sense. Or you're losing $200 in a day and you're only making $20 on your winning days. Doesn't make sense. So at most you're going to be able to lose is $100. Now I want you to aim for a 1-to-1 risk to reward at least. But if I first started, it's not about the money. You're going to look at the monetary value, but you're not going to look at it as, oh, I'm going to gain this much or I'm going to lose this much. I want you to look at the monetary value and see your 1-to-1 risk to reward. Okay, on this trade, I'm going to lose at most $50. And that allows you to focus on the risk before you even take the trade, because most people won't focus on the risk and they just get in and they don't have a plan, they don't have a stop loss. Now when you get in, you know that DAS will stop you out. There's no stop in DAS to stop you out at negative 10%. So you'll choose wisely and you'll realize that there's a risk every time you take a trade. And a lot of people don't focus on that, but that would help me get that risk to reward up, right? And it won't allow me to lose a crazy amount in the day. Most I'll lose is $100, and my reward is endless, right? If I make 20% on a $500, that's $100 right there. I can be done in a day. Don't look at your account percentage, because if you lose $100 on that $1,000 account, it's probably going to be down negative 10%. And you'll be like, oh my gosh, that's a big deal, this and that. Okay, but you were just down negative 50% the other day and you just reloaded your account. This is for people that need that help. It's not for the people that already got this thing down and stuff like that. This is for how to deal with your problems in the market. Whether you're over trading, there's a solution. Whether it's risk management, there's a solution. And that's basically what it comes down to. Like on a day like today, you don't want to look back and be like, today I should have stopped trading. Today this ruined my week's P&L. You don't want to mess this up, right? You did so good, and then you're going to let today be the day that stops you from actually becoming a profitable trader this week. Think about that next time you take a trade. Are you actually revenge trading by taking more than 2 losses on the day? Or are you actually sticking to your plan? And what's crazy is at 9:30 a.m. Eastern every single day, you have the power to change the outcome for the day. Because think about it. You get on your screen at 9:30, 2 hours in, you're down $200. Think about that next time you log on at 9:30 a.m. Eastern. You look on and you just remember, in 2 hours from now, if I force stuff or if I overtrade, I could be down $200 on a day. I could be down $500 a day. Whatever you usually are down on a big red day because you didn't stick to your rules, because you didn't stick to your plan, you have the ability to not click the button, or to click the button on the right time and not when you're forcing stuff. You have the power to change that. You can change the outcome of the day. That's all on you. You have the power. It's a good day. You're break even right now, 9:30 a.m. Eastern. Are you going to let 2 hours change you from not sticking to your plan? So hopefully this video helped you guys. I didn't take any trades today. GDP is tomorrow. I live trade every single morning. Link is in the description below. Other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.